Hello, and welcome to Kings Point Spotlight. I'm Lieutenant Tyrone Broxton, and today I have the pleasure of being joined at Lower Roosevelt Field, the home of the baseball Mariners, with Ensign Dustin Carter. Ensign Carter is a 2008 graduate of the United States Merchant Marine Academy, where he majored in logistics and intermodal transportation management. DC, thanks for being with us here today on Kings Point Spotlight.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, as I always like to do, I want to give all of my guests the opportunity to give a shout out to their hometown, their high school, let all the good people know where you're from.
I'm from Dallas, North Texas, and I went to high school at Carrollton Newman Smith.
Carrollton Newman Smith. Big high school?
Very big high school.
Okay.
I graduated with almost 650 people.
Okay, wow, very impressive. And I know you were in the top 25% of your class as well, so that's pretty good. Pretty good. Now, being an African American, why should another African American or minority student considering attending a service academy give Kings Point, the United States Merchant Marine Academy, a sincere look?
Options and opportunity, hands down. You can go to any branch of the military, you could sail in the Merchant Marine, and there's just so many things available to you.
Okay. Now, those who choose to work in the maritime industry, they also serve as naval reservists, as you are. But Kings Pointers have the option of going to any branch of service upon graduation. Active duty, did you consider going active duty, and what branch of service was of interest to you?
Yes, actually. I was thinking I was going to go in the Air Force for a very long time, and then actually switched off and on to Army Airborne. I was thinking about that, and actually Navy EOD, but ended up finding my best opportunities for me personally to sail in the merchant marine industry.
Okay. And what company did you eventually land with?
I landed with Crowley in the Gulf, doing contract tugs. I liked the hands-on experience and the ability to still travel and get that shipping experience.
Okay. Now, what's the significance of your work? What is the type of work that you do as a third mate for that company?
As a third mate for that company specifically, I'm actually have the duties of a second mate. So I do a lot of the navigation, all of the preparing of a voyage plan, and also the safety equipment that most third mates would do on regular vessels larger than that.
Okay. Now, many students that aspire to attend a service academy sometimes are sent the route of the academy preparatory school. In your time, you were, I think, the second to last class to go to the Naval Academy Preparatory School. Now we utilize the New Mexico Military Institute, where all of our students that go to prep will go to Roswell, New Mexico for 1 year of training. You went to NAPS. Talk about why that was significant in your academic training, and also why you chose to go to NAPS. Although it's an additional year of academics, a lot of students, a lot of parents that I work with over the years kind of see it as a slight, getting an offer to the preparatory school. How come you did not see it as a slight, and how did that prepare you for success here at the Merchant Marine Academy?
Right. I actually had the option of being class of 2007 and coming straight to the academy. However, knowing myself and my academic strengths, I knew that I wanted to take this extra year to increase my academic foundation. So, in only being 30 points shy on the math portion of the SAT, I personally chose to go to the Naval Academy Preparatory School for the 10-month time. And it was probably the best decision I could have made in preparing me not only academically, mentally, and regimentally for the school here.
Okay. Now, you were involved in quite a lot of regimental activities here, a long list, a long slew. Talk about your activities from band to what you did within the regiment.
I was a drummer here in band company. I also was a member of the Christian Fellowship Club and drummed with them on Mondays. I helped start the paintball team here. I was also point of Kings Point diversity, and also had different regimental petty officer positions. I was actually asked to be regimental commander petty officer my junior year and regimental adjutant. However, senior year, I was the fitness officer and squad leader for my platoon. Those were just some of the aspects of leadership that I was able to be a part of.
Okay. Now, the C year is something that most students really look forward to. And you had some very interesting experiences, not only when it came to all your jobs and the ships that you work aboard and places that you went, but you were put in some adverse situations where the training here at the academy really came into play with the situations aboard your ship. You had to come to the aid of a few of your shipmates who suffered some heart attacks and or strokes. Talk about that experience and how your training here allowed you to help those individuals.
Sometimes when you're here, you never think that the things you're going to learn are going to be applicable. However, I knew some of the importance of ship's medicine and firefighting might help save a life. And even though you may think you may never use it, those are some of the things that are very valuable to you. And unfortunately, I had to deal with 2 fatalities within a month and a half on 2 different vessels in 2 different ports. One gentleman actually ended up passing away in Alexandria, Egypt, and having to help him and administer first aid for about 45 minutes until the Egyptian, authorities came. And then the second one was actually in San Diego when a man actually went into cardiac arrest. And thankfully, due to my training, I was able to sustain him for 20 minutes until the paramedics came. However, due to complications, he was not able to make it.
Now, on a lighter note, let's talk about some of the ships that you worked aboard and some of the places you had the chance of going during that sea year.
I actually went on to 4 different ships during my sea year time, my 2 sea year periods here. I went on to 2 container ships, 1 ro-ro ship, which is a car carrying ship, roll on, roll off, and a last ship, which actually had bars. And the last ship was actually the last American built one from Waterman, and we ended up taking that to India. I also got to see the pyramids in Cairo, a lot of ports in Hawaii, definitely was a lot of fun, and parts of Asia. That was a lot of fun, great experience.
Okay, very good, very good. Now, let's talk about baseball. You're a baseball player here. We're at the baseball field. You're a baseball player here, but you had some peaks and valleys in your career. Speak on some of those.
Freshman year, unfortunately, I had ACL meniscus surgery, so that didn't allow me to play freshman year. But I came back from second year, had 3 days, and hit the field hard. Definitely ended up doing pretty well. Ended up hitting a 340 at the end of the season sophomore year. Junior year, unfortunately, due to the split from freshman year that I had to switch, I wasn't able to play junior year either. Hit it again hard senior year, and came to the personal decision to have to sacrifice baseball for my studies, and that's something that I will never regret. Being able to pass license and graduate on time is something that was very important to me. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to play the spring season of senior year.
Okay. Now, with all of your experiences, knowing where you are now, but let's pretend that you didn't know where you currently stand. Would you do it all over again?
I definitely would, for the opportunities and the step ahead that the Academy does provide for you. Some people say that it's a horrible place to be at, but a wonderful place to be from. And I think a lot of people in our situation while at the Academy do feel that. But hands down, this was probably the best choice that I made.
Now, what were some of the colleges that you were considering in addition to Kings Point?
I actually thought I was going to the Air Force Academy since 6th grade until my junior year, until I heard about a lot of the opportunities that this academy had to be able to play baseball, to drum in the band, to travel the world, to have a top-notch education, and to be set up for the real world when you come out. But some of the other schools that I looked into was also the University of Texas. A lot of my family are Longhorn fans, so I'm sorry to some of the other rival schools, but I keep that one close to my heart.
And you're still a Longhorn fan?
Yes.
And you're also a Mariner fan?
And also a Kings Point Mariner
fan. Awesome. Ensign Carter, always a pleasure. Good to see you. And
thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it. And that concludes this edition of Kings Point Spotlight. For all of us in admissions, I'm Lieutenant Tyrone Broxton. Until next time, act non verba and go Mariners.